Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? It is Thursday. We're running a few minutes late today. Sorry, guys. Coffee with the wife ran just a little long this morning. We were just watching the sunrise, drinking some coffee. It was absolutely gorgeous, absolutely tremendous. It was amazing. Let's take a look at today's economic calendar. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. Bink, bink. All right. There we go. All right. So today's economic calendar, we got Thursday, February 2nd. We had a bunch of drops at 5:30 this morning. We had another drop at 7 and another drop at 5:30. We had the initial jobless claims, the continuing jobless claims, the productivity first estimate, unit labor costs, and factory orders, as well as order capital goods orders revision. So initial jobless claims looks like went down to 183K from 195 was the forecast, and the last previous was 100. Continuing jobless claims at 1.66 million. Previously was 1.67, so a drop of about 10,000. Unit labor costs. Like they went down to 1.1% for Q4 from 2%. Factory orders also went down with it. So there we have it. Them's the financial reports for today. Let's go ahead and jump into the to the actual chart themselves. Yeah, there we go. And I was noticing this last night, sort of the after hours, just how much we're ripping with this candle here. 11,000 contracts. Maybe some choppiness. We have that much volume and volatility, or maybe a little bit of choppiness. Looks like it's bouncing very well off 4150, coming up, testing 4200 as the zone here. Take a look at the last year. Say that, yeah, we're at 46.31 from last year. And actually, looking on the, look at this. I want you to take a look at this. On the year, we're going to have 5,200 cross. So we may be entering into a bullish period for the foreseeable future. All right, so we're going to work on getting a flow down for the day. Once we kind of get that flow, probably jump into our 2-hour evaluations. We've been doing pretty well with that. Put this up here on the screen and just show you what we got. Show me what you got. My record voice out there. In our 100K, we're up at 772 out of 2,000, so almost halfway to that one. And on the 50K, we definitely have a lot of work to go. We rebuilt our trailing max up to 581. We were down at 160 on that one, so pretty sketchy situation that was happening there. However, basically last Friday we kind of destroyed that account, but we didn't fail it, which is awesome, because nothing sucks worse than failing those evaluations. Having to wait for a rebuild or paying for reset. That's no fun. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to jump into the paper side first, and we'll get this going here. Now, a couple things to note. We are above the upper band of the daily weighted average price, but the 9 is up here with us. I don't know what to think of this, because with the 9 above the upper band of the daily, well, I don't know that I've seen that much. Gonna be focused on taking probably some scalps up here at the top. Say it just dropped low. Okay, so we did just fill up there at 88. And we got out at 89 or so. We are getting some weird, some more delay in the. We are getting a lot of delay in the Huh. That felt so loud. Could you guys even hear me? Can you hear me now? Like, can you hear the volume now? I honestly didn't even notice it. I was like getting into the trading and I was just like just really kind of focused on what I was doing with the trades. And it was like, wow, this music feels really loud all of a sudden. Like once the moment I entered into a trade and needed to like be calm, it's like so I apologize. I forgot to adjust it. I have to adjust the volume every single day, and it's very frustrating to like have to use Windows Media Player, like which I don't think that I've used since like 2006. Um, but it's the only thing that doesn't cause any sort of lag in the tunes as well. So it's kind of like it's very annoying. I had the web player that was built into Epidemic, um, but no, dude, it was the music, which needs to be adjusted daily. Essentially, I need to like readjust the volume, even if it says the volume is at what it's at. Still need to readjust it. But Windows Media Player is the only thing that I found that works. Versus like using the built-in web player from Epidemic, and then Epidemic doesn't have a desktop app; they have a mobile app that lacks the shuffle function of all things. Yeah, yeah. I used to use Windows Media Player a lot, man. I had like gigs upon gigs of music back in the day. All right. So we got our top there at 41.91. We got to make sure that we don't end up in like a big drop down today. We're definitely getting a lot of rippage. I honestly wish I was here earlier at like 7:10 or so. Just when we got this major bounce off 40 off the view app there. Because this is like totally my setup where we get the red, yellow, and the rips. I think I need to start getting here a little earlier. Lately, 7 o'clock has been kind of the a really good zone of trading. Can you pull back to that 9 EMA there? I'm gonna join the bid here just for a bounce up. That was a quick $100. I was gonna try to get zoomed in on this eval side.
Order filled.
I took a long. I was trying to take that bounce off that 9, and then we immediately dropped down some. I'm on the 100K account right now. Once we get out of this one, and I'm only going for 3 ticks on this. Once we get out of this one, we'll probably be a little bit more cautious. I was trying to take advantage of that quick bounce like style, like what we just did in the paper account.
Order filled.
All right, so we just got that trade. That was 65.84 on our 100K account, which is now at 838. Getting a nice bounce here, coming up, testing these highs. That was a very like classic 9 EMA bounce right there. Very nice trade. I'm feeling a little crowded my my planners here. I love these planners, by the way. These guys here, freedommastery.com is who makes these planners, but they're super dope. Like they're a law of attraction planners, essentially what they're called. And I don't have an affiliate link or anything for these guys, but I probably should get one. But they're super dope because they basically are really like in depth in terms of like how you actually plan things. So they got like habit trackers and other things like that. But they also spend a lot of time focusing on reflection. Anywho, there. Now we're not so crowded at our desk. 4191 still standing at the top there. Throwing in a price level. Up 250 in the paper side and up 65 on the 100K account. Since we're above this upper band of the view app, I'm still a little sketch here. A lot of times when we hit the upper band, we'll get some quick rejections, and then fall back down below it, and then we may have some more spikes above it. So, but where we're at, we're holding 88 pretty well. You can actually see this is like kind of a support level, right? I'm gonna put right here. Market is up 1.4% today. Is very, very big move on the day. TTM moving from 9.5 to 8.5 to 7.5. So TTM's dropping about 1 point at a time while we're continuing to push up. So we're getting a lot more bounces. They're off that 9 EMA. We may fall down. If we fall, I don't think that we'll fall below 80. But there's definitely a lot of opportunity here for like some quick shorts. I'm gonna switch just like $4 or 4 ticks, not $4. Try to join the bid there. Missed the move. Coming up to test the high again up there at 91. You can see now we've hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So we have 5 points of resistance now. Boom, boom. Broke through to 91.5, new high. And no worries, Tiny. By the way, if y'all chilling, hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for noties and all them fun things that we love to do here. We love to optimistically do here. There's 4192. So bar ripping, but you can see the TTM is also declining throughout that process of rippage. 7.5 to 6.7 to 5.9. Falling back down to 4191. I feel like I need to breathe today. Take my time. 6.7 to 5.8 to 5.0. Very sideways up here at the top. As you can see right there. Since been sideways pretty much since about 7:33, 7:34. Slow grind up, but still pretty sideways. Let's take a look at the 3-minute chart. 3 minutes still stacking on the TTM. from 18 to 20. I could see 4,200 being a point of resistance. I don't know why I'm getting like such lag in COS this whole week. Entered at 41.92. I'm looking for a move up to 95. See if we can make new highs here. I think 95 is definitely, I don't know about definitely, but I do think 95 is in the cards. Pulling back to 91, which is off the 9 EMA. 9 and 12 EMA are still grinding up.
Order filled.
Join the bid there.
Order filled.
Got a nice spike on that. Up 131.68 in the 100K on the day. Up 903.90 on that account. So really, really getting closer and closer to that. There's 95. There's our exit here. Made 500 on that one. Up 850 in the paper account. It was a very nice trade on the 100K. Coming up on our 50% marker. Like I said, I think that there is room up to 4,200, but we may have some resistance up here around 95. That makes it a little challenging to get to 4,200. That's okay. Put in the bid here. Trying to enter around 95. Entered at 95 and a quarter. And I may have to cut this one quick just because we made a decline after the peak. Pulling back to 94. Gonna cut this and take the $200 loss, or 150, depends on where it lets me out. Shouldn't have market orders that hang out like that. So that was a $200 loss. I cut it just because like it looked to me like it was gonna dump down a little bit. I don't know about dumping in terms of like crash or anything like that, but it did look like it was gonna pull back off that push. So I just decided to cut it, lose the 200, but keep my profit on the day up at 650. So peak of the day is 850 off of 4 trades. That was really off of 3 trades, and we lost 200 on the last one. So 4 trades, $650 on the paper side. On the eval side, 2 trades in the 100K account, up $131 and some change, 131.68. Obviously there was a lot more room in this trade here, but I am mad at it. I am not mad about it. So we're up at 903.90 on that 100K eval out of 2,000. So where are we at? 903.9 divided by our 2,000. We are 45% to goal to earn funding in the 100K account. Like I said, I'm going to switch over to the 50K. And we've been going slow on this to rebuild that trailing max. We built up almost 600 back into the trailing max. I'm like, starting to get to a point to where I'm feeling a little bit like I have the capability of being able to take a slightly larger trades. But I don't if anything goes against us and we're taking more contracts, then we'll have to make up a lot of ground. And so I don't really know if I want to do that. I'll probably stick with 2 or possibly 3 contracts, although I'm a little unfamiliar with using 3 contracts. Speaking of which, I think I'll just try 3 contracts right now just to get a quick feel for the movement. We're pulling back here to the 9. This seems like a reasonable trade, but I'm going to put it at 3 ticks. Turn the bid there. And at 91.50. So it's 37.50 per tick on 3 contracts. Pulling back to 91. Did a little micro trade on that, made 37.50. So 4 is worth 37.50. Or sorry, 3. I normally trade 4, so which is $50 a pop. Pulling up to 92, bouncing off of the right there where that line was, that moving average, not moving average, that support resistance line that we had drawn in there. Falling down off the highs of 96.75, and we may get a nice bounce here. So it was a 4-minute pullback here, bouncing off that. But we do, a couple of things to note, we do have the TTM cooling off. We're even getting a red dot. We've got the 26 simple moving average working its way up towards the 12. So we may see some resistance lines there. I like this song. It's very chill. Okay, so we're pulling back to 1.7 now to 1.2 on the TTM1. Let's see if we got any pullbacks in the longer time frames. So this went from 18 to 20. That was that trade that we took. And we took that, by the way, because of the TTM3. So this went to 20.5 to 21 to 21.1 to now 21.0. So this does look like we may have potential for a pullback. We are kind of fluttering in between the cyan and the dark blue on the TTM3. And kind of looks like we're almost forming a head and shoulders here. You got this sort of like here's shoulder 1 and then the head. And so we may pull back. I think our pullback, though, is not going to really drop necessarily below like 86. So we may get some nice pops on that. If we do end up getting a trend reversal, which I don't think we're going to for a while, I think that a pullback to like 75, 76 is probably kind of our maximum. Could be wrong, but we are very bullish on the day. Y'all know how the markets work. You get like even the microest of good reports and things go up. And then sometimes you get a bad report and things still go up. 11.9 to 14.7 to 15.6 on the TTM5. 9 EMA is down there at 85. I'm going to short actually off of this. So we're in short at 89. I'm looking for a move down to like 88. so not like major. Switching back to the 1 minute side. And so on the 1 minute, you can see that candle actually had a lot of sell off there. We're getting a blue to red on the TTM. On the 1, we're coming up on a potential 1226 crossover to the downside, and 9 is kind of grazing a little bit below the 12. So there's a lot of opportunity here for short. I think that the opportunity kind of ends along this EMA 35, which is at 86.50. And we're getting more support than I would expect from this downward move, especially because we're getting really close to that crossover, but that doesn't necessarily mean a lot, because a lot of times we will bounce pretty heavily at this at that crossover. Look at that rip. Totally went against us. Just went from like straight to from a blue to a red and straight into a yellow, ripping right up into the upper band of the VWAP, and we're short off 89. So this ripped up like $4. Bitcoin's been ripping all week. Bitcoin's back up like well above 25 or 20, and it's been kind of ripping into the 24 range, by the way. And if y'all remember, when Bitcoin was down to like 15, 16, I was like, yo, this is mad cheap. Like, you probably want to, like, this is an area that I would consider buying in. And I did buy some Bitcoin in that area. Okay, I'm gonna cut this trade, and yeah, we may. It won't. Why is it taking so long to fulfill market orders recently? This is frustrating. Just let me out of the trade, dude. Like, holding my trade hostage. It's a very nice bounce. I consider taking this trade in the eval. 9 is, or sorry, we're going from red to yellow on the TTM. I don't know where I want to enter or exit, so join the bid here. Entered at 93.75. I'm going to get out at 94.50, which we did on the 50K. So our trailing max is up at 647 now out of 2,000. And we're slowly grinding this one back up. As far as the paper account goes, let me just get this one back into profit real fast. It's kind of an OCD thing, honestly. Like, I don't need this one to be in profit, but sometimes I just do it because it just kind of annoys me. Join the bid here. Miss the entry. Just gonna buy the market. Gonna entry off 92.75. I'm looking for a move back up to 94. Ooh, we actually got a yellow to red on the TT. Well, that's what you get for impatient trading. So that actually hit resistance along the upper band of the volume weighted average price. And just take that profit there. TOS has been having the hardest time filling market orders on the paper side recently. So we made 150 back on that. We're down $12. It's been really super frustrating too, because it's just like, man, just let me in and out, like the way that it always used to work. Going from 0.5 to 0.4 on the TTM yellow. Bounce off of the 9 EMA might look nice. Looking to join the bid off of 92.50. Entered at 92 and a quarter. And we got continued dropping. We're kind of starting to chop a bit, if y'all haven't noticed. And we're approaching that 26 too much. Phil, dude. Oh my gosh. So did Phil up to 37.50 now. The way that's bouncing though, man, like the market orders and all that, it's very frustrating. All right. Coming up, testing 95. Yeah, TradingView has come a long way. You had a dream that I got funded? Dude, that's awesome. I love that. That's wonderful. Keep manifesting it for me. I love this. The market doesn't stay at the price long enough. That's what I think. On the paper side of things, yeah, but it's just weird because for months and even like years, it would enter and exit as if I was live trading, like just really quickly, really easily, and really functionally. And it's only been this week that it's been such a challenge to get fills. We're pulling back to 92. We did hit that resistance at 95 like we talked about. Came up a little bit to almost 96. And here we are on the pullback. 9 is still above 12. We're still getting some Mario candles. 0.16 to 0.2 on the TTM with the cyan switch. TTM's kind of flat though, so it's kind of unreliable at this particular point in time if it's that flat. We want to see TTM with momentum. If it's a flat TTM, it's not really a useful indicator. So we do have ascending support kind of forming right there, though. At least from that view. Right there. But pull this down some, and we're going to throw in resistance here. So this is looking like we may fall down to the 35, which is right there off of 89. I wouldn't take a short here yet, though, just because the 9's still above the 12. Even though this looks like it will fall down to 89, you never know, because it could just fill up like that and become a hammer candle. Become a Mario hammer. Wow. Finding a little support there at 91, which is where the support line was that we had drawn in. Very bullish day. ES up 1.4% on the S&P. One, two, three, four. I want to see this on a longer term chart. So on the 3-minute chart, we've actually been pulling back on the TTM from 20.7 to 20.4 to 18.5 to, on the current candle, 16.5. So this actually pulled back to the 12 EMA on the 3-minute side. I'm going to switch to the 5-minute chart. And 5-minute chart still showing stacking on the TTM, 16.4 to 18.4 to 19.2. So we do still have some longer term build-up on the 5-minute side. Switching back to the 1, I wonder if we pulled back to the 35. We did. There's the 35 right there. I'm gonna join the bid here for a bounce off 35. Could be wrong. We did kind of pop down below it. Typically it bounces pretty well here though. So we did get, that was like $100 back. 337.50 up on the day in the paper side. TTM moving very flatly. This is why I like that trade. I'm starting to trust this more, the 35 bounce, just because it's like a really consistent move where it pulls back to this 35. What time is this? 8:11 or so? 8:14, 8:15. I'm gonna take a note here because I actually want to talk about this. What up, DG? Pulling back to the 35 again on a TTM red. We're going from 0.5 to 0.6. Join the bid here. Took a quick $100. 437.50. Frankly, scalping has been working a lot more for me this last week or so instead of momentum trading. This clearly would have been a very nice momentum trade here, but for momentum trades, for me, I really want them to work within the strategies that I've developed, and without that, I don't feel confident a lot of the times taking those momentum trades. I really want them to fit into those categories, because without it, I don't know my entry and my exit, and so I don't want to be in that boat. This is pulling back to 88, which is this other support level that we had drawn. This may pull back to 87. It's the 50 EMA. Getting some sell-off now. 0.58 to 1.0 to 1.5 on the TTM on the 1 minute side. Short off 87. Got that quick hundo. Pull back to the 50 EMA. 1.0 to 1.6. Wow, wow, bow, bow, wow, wow. Joining the bid here for a long bounce off of 50 EMA. See if this actually works out. At the entry at 86.75, and it's kind of just dropping. It's a lot of downward momentum. I don't really know that I want to keep this trade. Especially because this bounce off the EMA 35 was so weak. Right, we did keep it. We did get that trade of 730, 750 in the paper side. The bounce did work. The 50 EMA bounce. And we're going from 1.0 to 1.9 to 2.4 on the red side on the TTM 1. This is a head and shoulders pattern, very elongated though, and also, like I said back here when we were talking, we may see pullbacks to the 35 and the 50. We did pull back to the 35 and bounce, pull back to the 50 and bounce. Now I would be looking, if I'm going to continue on the long side of things, I'd be looking for a red-yellow move off of the TTM, bounce off 50, and a move towards the upper band, which the upper band is at 96. So that'd be a $10 move towards that side. Volume's looking great today. We're pretty much 3,000 contracts per minute on a consistent basis, with some contracts dipping below 2,000 and some dipping above like 5 or 6. Excuse 1.9 to 2.1 to 2.9. So getting some downward momentum. I like the way I said that. Momentum. How do we get 2.9 to 3.7, 3.8. There's a lot of downward move on that. Don't see an op yet. Unless that op is short, but I don't. Could go short off the 50. 50 being right there around 87. But I'm not feeling that, so. Because they could just find support and rip on through it, so I'm not really trying to do that. 2.9 to 3.60. A little bit of build back up. Yeah, so the idea would have been to go short right there. But like I said, it could just rip right through it and bounce off of it because the 50 acts as support so frequently. So this went from 2.9 to 3.4 before the close, and now 3.8, 3.9 on this one. So red to yellow potential is here. If we see a red to yellow, I think I'll go for 6. 3.46 to 3.9. Time on the candle, we've got 20 seconds. I know how to say time in Vietnamese, but I'm gonna have to figure out how much time but I'm gonna have to figure out how much time is left. I want to say that, like, how much time is left. I'm gonna have to figure that one. 'Cause to say time or like to ask what time it is, be like Maya, but like, how do I say how much time is left? Ich weiß nicht. Or how many? Let's see, 3.46 to 4.0 to now 4.0. We're getting a nice bounce off that 50 EMA, pulling up to 88. Look for a rejection potentially off of 35. I don't know if we're gonna get that, but an entry off of 35 seems decent. See if I can get an entry off of like 88 and a half. Red, yellow. I had a feeling one was inbound. 4.0 to 3.7. That's a strong red yellow. I'm gonna just join the bid, see if I can get in. I'm also gonna jump to the eval side. Wait for a little pullback here, maybe to like the 35 right there off of 89. Join the bid off 89.50. I'm gonna get out at 90 and a quarter. A lot of resistance there at 90. Putting my sell order at 90. I think we'll break through it, but
order filled.
Got that sell order at 90. We did get our 50K account back up above 50K, and we're up $106 in our 50K account. Getting a really nice pop up here, and we're up 1,087.50 on the paper side. This is looking really nice. This is such a textbook red yellow move on the day here. And so what time did this happen? 8:21. So many like textbook moves on the day that I really want to take note of them so that I can educate on them, because this is exactly my strategy on the day, which is great. It's moving a little bit slower than I like for it to move, but it's not a big deal, because these are really like, this is straight up my strategy. Like that exact move right there, this red to yellow. I'm starting to trust the EMA 35 more and the EMA 50. The EMA 50 is the sketchier one to me, because sometimes it could drop below the 50 and then just tank down. And the same can happen off of 35, but it's not. The 35 is far more reliable. I've noticed it has a really high level of working out. It was a very nice rip, which we did take tiny little bit of advantage of just in this little move here. It did hit that resistance at 90, which is what scared me to take that position a little bit lower, but this is popping well. 3.7 to 3.0 to, wow, this is just running. Sometimes it just feels like it's running without me, you know. What up, DG? Good morning, my man. Good day on the day so far. We're up 1087.50 in the paper side. We're up over 100 in each evaluation. We're up 106 in the 50K, which we have worked quite diligently to get that back up to 2K on the trailing. We're up 131.68 in the 100K. We're almost halfway in the 100K account. On the 50, I may feel a little more inclined to start taking some larger moves, a little bit larger contract size. We did get some pullback here where you look like we're entering into a cyan switch. Like I said, when we were down here at the 50 EMA, we may have room up to the upper band of the VWAP, which you can see it's getting a little micro curl to the down. So I may look for an entry off of 91, maybe 91 and a half. Tap 91 and a half, but didn't stay there. All right, it's falling down now. Entered long 91 and a half and looking to get out of 93. It's a pretty reasonable pullback here. It's pulling back a little further than I expected or wanted to. It did pull back to the EMA 35. We are very close to a cyan switch, but something to note here is that we're going from 1.4 to 0.6 to 0.3. So the TTM slowed down a little bit on the 1 minute chart. So I may actually end up cutting this trade as a result of that slowdown. 9 is above the 12, but it did reject the crossover. This is the last opportunity for this. It's got to pop back up above this 90, this resistance here up at 91. I'm going to drop this down to 92 for an exit there at 92. Didn't fill me. There we go. Up 1187.50. The reason why I dropped that was because basically because it failed the 1226 crossover. That doesn't mean it won't have another attempt, because we're really close to another attempt of it. But because it failed the first one and dropped so heavily off of 93, I didn't want to risk it continuing that failure. So the 9 is above the 12, which does look good on bullish action, but it has not crossed the 26. We are getting a cyan switch. That looks great on bullish action as well. When the chart is so flat like this, it's so hard to like zoom properly. Pretty nice cup and handle here. I want the upper band here. And then, yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So we can see the entire cup and handle. Here's the cup. This is the handle here. So how close are we to this crossover? We're gonna have to wait until the next minute, which is in about 5 seconds. We got from 0.2 to 0.7 to 1.2, 1.6 or so on the TTM. Are we going to fail this crossover? The second attempt. Yep, crossover failed. That was why I got out of that other trade, the one that dropped down here. That was why I dropped my sell order down to 92 instead of my initial trade idea, which is up at 93, was because of the, you can see that crossover failed right here. This is the last attempt at this crossover. So failed initially, dropped all the way down to the 35, and then is coming back up. It's on the crossover point. So again, it won't have the actual answer on this candle, but it's looking like it's going to work out. We do have a cup and handle formation, so that does give us a lot of confidence for a continued upward move. And there's the crossover. It did work out. I don't think we're going to really get a pullback on this candle here. We've got resistance right there at, I'm going to just mark the resistance and then we'll get back to trading. Oops. Breaking on through it, pulling up to 93. And join the bid right here. Trying to get the entry, but it's not filling me just yet. Entered long 92.5 and immediately pulled back. to get an upper wick on that cup and handle formation. 1.48 to 1.87 on the TTM1. By the way, I was taking a look at our accuracy on the evaluation side. We're like 93% accurate, almost 93. It's like 92.8% accuracy. I was really surprised at that. 1.9 to 2.4 on the TTM. Again, gonna reduce the sell order. I just think I'm swinging a little too hard on the day, and so I'm gonna drop down to like 3 ticks because I think I'm just swinging a little too aggressively now at these highs. 1.9 to 2.2, so we have a little micro momentum towards the upside, and a lot of resistance there at 93, which is evidence off of this upper wick, as well as these wicks here, and then this whole section here that rejected along 93. We are getting some divergence in the moving averages, and we're going from 1.9 to 2.0 to 2.1. So TTM is even slowing down. I may cut this trade and take this loss. Popping up to 91.50. Hands over the cover button. I'm like at my risk level, so I don't really want to lose more than 300. All right, so that trade did work out. We did pull back up to 93. Kind of a sketchy trade, though. I don't really like that trade. I don't feel that I did a good job on that trade. And it really is because of the choppiness here. I can see the divergence, and so I can see the strategy there, but the strategy is happening with low momentum. And if I look at this, I wonder if the volume got lower. Yeah, the volume kind of slowed down a little bit, which is why that momentum slowed down. But we are coming up here toward a test of the highs. We do have this fresh TTM breakout, which is getting stronger. I'm gonna hop out to a longer time frame here and take a look and see what is accumulating. 5.9 to 4.5 to 3.9 on the TTM3, now 3.8. So the longer time frame is actually showing us that we're potentially beginning to work our way towards a trend reversal toward the downside. At least on the 3-minute chart. 5-minute chart looks like it's telling us a different story. From this cooling candle at 18.7, we went up to 18.9, then 19.1, then 19.5, followed by another cooling candle at 18.7. Chart's getting a little sideways now. Resistance there at 95 yet again. You can see we had resistance up here at 95, here on the upper band, and here as well. So this exceeded the upper band, this rejected at the upper band, and this rejected at the resistance level of 95. So the upper band is almost to 4,200. No, we don't know. All right, we do have a reasonable amount of people chilling and hanging out with us today. If you guys are chilling and hanging out, please make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. We do have like 6 viewers here. That means we should get at least 6 likes on this video. 100% participation. Let's do it, y'all. On top of that, y'all, if y'all are looking to earn funding in the futures market, make sure you check out Elite Trader Funding. I love these guys. Have wonderful customer service. It's one of the things I really care about. One of the things I rave about when I talk about these guys, because they've only been great to me in terms of answering my questions quickly, answering my questions effectively. One thing I really love about these guys is they don't just send me to an FAQ article. They actually answer my questions. that respond with a real human. This is so hard to find anymore, and I love it. It's absolutely tremendous. I love it. We do have this. I don't know why I keep doing that this week. What they have that's a little bit different than a lot of the other prop firms out there. Some prop firms are starting to adopt this now, but they have this one-step evaluation, so I don't need to go through an evaluation just to go through another evaluation. So that's one thing that's really cool about these guys. One-step evaluations. They have the fast tracks, which are very unique to them. These ones I highly recommend you only do if you have a very solid strategy, because they do have a time limit. They have the traditional style, the end of the day drawdowns, and the static drawdown evaluations, which are not offered at a lot of firms, but they are available here. Personally, I'm working on the 50K evaluation here for the one step, which has a $3,000 profit target. Allows me 8 contracts in the mini and a $2,000 trailing max drawdown, and a 100K static evaluation is the other one I'm working on, which is a $2,000 profit target, which we're about halfway to. This allows me 2 contracts in the mini with a regular straight up static drawdown of $625. That means if I start with 100K and I lose 625, then that's when I would fail this evaluation. But anything above that, I'm still in the eval. So if you guys use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST, that's JS Best, you'll actually lock in a lifetime discount here at Elite Trader Funding. And that is what I'm using here. This software is Tradevate. That's another thing too about Elite Trader Funding is they do allow you to choose your own software, which is not a common thing. So you can choose between a bunch of different softwares with them, and they do provide a lot of license keys for the softwares. Just make sure that that your chosen software is compatible with them, and that they do provide a license key. And the reason is because those license keys are not cheap. Sometimes they're thousands of dollars. So there is a lot of value with your prop firm providing you a license key. We are pulling back off of that resistance area of 95. We're pulling back to the EMA 50. And it looks like we may get a trend reversal here. A lot of potential in it. I'm going to check on the VWAP here. VWAP's been slowly working its way up. It's now up at 69. And where was it at 730? 730, we were down here at 61, 60 area. So we have moved the VWAP up. The 200 is moving with it. 200 is nearly at 75. Not a ton of significance in that, but the closer this 200 simple gets, this red line gets to this green line, there's a 200 simple moving average and a 50 EMA moving average, both of which those moving averages I got from an institutional trader. And this person was telling me how they have traded hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto, and one of their main strategies was utilizing the 50 EMA and the 200 SMA as just in terms of interpreting those crossovers. So that was a really fascinating piece of advice and strategy and combination. And when I started utilizing these about 9 months ago, my trading got a lot more accurate. I was able to view longer term trades much easier. We are dipping below the 50 EMA. Gonna zoom in. The dip here is with the 9 below the 12. We are getting a crossover towards the downside on the 9, the 12, and the 26. We're pulling back to around 87, which is, I want to say that was about where we're at with this other dip. Let's measure. Measure twice, trade once. So this pulled back to 85. Yep, 85. And we're currently pulling back to about 87. Just gonna check in with y'all in the comments and see how everyone's doing. What up, Todd? You become a pivot point trader? That's awesome, dude. Finally successful. Let's throw this up here. Everybody throw some congrats over to Todd, who is become a pivot trader, finally successful. That's badass, man. Tiny using the ghost feed. Pivot point trader. Yeah, so pivot point, let's see. Sorry, I'm just, is it really effective? Pivot point indicator trade, pivot to pivot. Yeah, so that's like, Todd, just tell me if I'm wrong, but that's when you're going from, like, you're basically taking bounces on long, and then you're shorting near the top, and you're basically doing the kind of following the waveforms. Is that correct? I could be wrong. Look at volume pressure at pivot points. Yeah. So like when the volume gets really high, either on the long side or the short side, right? I could be totally wrong. I'm trying to catch up on all the comments. Funny how that works. Trading up better, removing most of all the indicators. Tiny, this is actually really something to consider too. A lot of people are really good with a lot of indicators. Like you guys know that a lot of my stuff is based off moving averages. This is basically my strategy is a lot more simple. Like people look at my charts and like, oh my gosh, like that's so many indicators. But the reality is like what is really on my indicators? I mean, there's volume, there's the TTM, and then the rest are just moving averages. And so I measure all those different moving averages against each other in order to make a trade determination, and it's pretty accurate. It's like 92% accurate. So, it works for me. But I know other people that are like, I got one indicator and that's it. So it's so it really just depends on who you are and like how all that stuff works in your own brain. So I'm gonna let Todd explain it, how he does. So yeah, sort of, and break and retest works nice. Yeah, I look by pivot points too. Yeah, so it is kind of the same sort of like, where you're seeing like that volume pressure coming in on one of the candles, and then you're kind of buying with that momentum of that volume pressure. So if a lot of sells are coming in, you're kind of shorting with that sell pressure, typically when it's at some sort of resistance level. And then the same if it's at a support level and you're seeing a lot of buying pressure coming in, then you're buying off that support. And yeah, DG, definitely don't rush it. Definitely focus on paper trading for a while, and learn and get your strategy down. You can certainly there's a lot of different strategies out there, DG, and I want this to be very clear to you, DG. One is not better than the other. Okay. It might be better for one person, but not necessarily for everybody. We respect all trading strategies here because one thing that I know is that what works for somebody and works very effectively for them won't necessarily work for somebody else and work super effectively for them. For example, for my own self, the RSI and the MACD were not the right fit for me. But that is a very common trade strategy that is touted about, and I just couldn't seem to get it to work for me. For me, when I discovered the TTM, my trading accuracy went way up. It wasn't just based off the TTM though. I had already developed some strategies in terms of using moving average crossovers, and I've just kind of developed that strategy on itself over time. Okie dokie. So we're getting a red to yellow on the TTM 1 minute chart. This is going from 2.4 to 2.8 to 2.7. You may see a little resistance there at the EMA 35. This is switching back over to a red candle. We do have a possible crossover of the 1226 inbound. But we went from 2.8 to 2.7 to 3.2. So there is a little bit more of a red candle. But one thing to note is that this found support here along 86. You can see is evidenced by this wick, this bottom of this candle, that wick as well, and the open of this candle here. So if the current candle drops below this green, then we'll likely see a dump down. If it does not and it holds up here, there is some more opportunity for a continued momentum. So you can see this hammer candle forming here. I like to call them Mario candles. But you can see that hammer candle forming here that is showing us there is some buying pressure on that candle, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to last. That's why I measure this same sort of chart pattern against these TTM as well. I also said too, if it breaks below this green candle, then we have a lot of potential for a fall down. And when I say break below, I'm talking about the close of it, not the wick. $2.7 to 3.0 to 3.3, which is still declining on the TTM momentum. Switching to the 3-minute chart here, where I'm seeing that we're actually switching to red on the TTM. We went from 0.9 to 2.0 to 3.0. So I'm actually more inclined. We made another bounce here up to like 95, but I am more inclined to think that we are potentially working our way towards a trend reversal. Now, this could just be a consolidation, which I actually think is probably more likely now that I'm saying that out loud. I think a consolidation to this area is a little bit more likely for the time being. Our trend reversal, I think, maybe a ways out if we even get one today. We are cooling on the TTM 5 as well. We're up 1287.50 in the paper side. We're up a little over 100 something in each evaluation on the day. There definitely was more trade opportunities. We've taken we took a weird trade today because we took a 3 contract instead of a 4. But we'll just call this 60 contracts. So we've taken 15 trades today, which is a little less than $100 a trade, which isn't my best, but certainly not my worst. Green is good, right? What strategy should you use? DG, I would say that the strategy that you should use is the one that makes the most sense to you. You may have to try a few different strategies, which is one of the reasons why we suggest paper trading first, so that you're trading in a simulator. And as you develop some accuracy in your simulator, you'll likely start to see some patterns form, or some things will begin to click a little bit more in your brain. And as it does, it will formulate into your own strategy. It's kind of like skateboarding, if you ever skateboarded or anything like that. Such a niche Such a niche thing to say. I grew up skateboarding, and in the time that I used to skateboard, uh, like I learned how to like heel flip and kick flip and stuff like that, and they looked like crap. They were terrible. But over time, they got better. They looked better. They became my own style of kickflip, my own style of heel flip, and any other trick. Sort of became my own style over time. Awesome chart and candle description. I'm just catching up on all the comments. By the way, guys, I just want to thank you very much for being here. I really do truly love and appreciate you guys for showing up. Um, it does make a difference. The more people that are in this stream, the more fun the stream is, honestly, and the more there is to talk about. It does make me a little bit nervous when there's more people here, but it makes me think of that Lil Wayne song. Do you ever get nervous? Um, but that's thoughts. Market rally fits mega cap tech names. At least in the NASDAQ. Yeah. What is the NQ doing today? We normally just trade the ES, but let's take a look at the NQ. Maybe there's some fun stuff on the NQ today. Oh, so the NQ actually just very recently hit some highs, like a few minutes ago. No. So NASDAQ is NASDAQ's given a red-yellow move available potential. And NASDAQ just recently hit highs. I'm gonna join the bid on this. Oh, right. We need to adjust for the NASDAQ since this is like way more. I haven't traded the NQ in months. But we're hitting almost 13K with the bid here. A quick $15 on the NQ. It's funny, I don't even really track my stats on the NQ. 19 point to 16 point. I'm normally just trading the ES just because I like that it pays me more. I tried to take that move in the NQ, it was just ripping. NQ's just, I'm just doing this for fun. I used to, if you guys remember the early days of the stream, I used to pretty much only trade the NQ. I don't have the movement down though. I'm gonna just cut this. I don't have the movement down on the NQ. Going back to the ES. Back to my home. It's just a quick loss for no reasons. It's in the paper account. I'm not too worried about it. This does look like we are beginning this trend reversal now. We're dropping below 85. It might find some support here. The TTM is yellow, but right now I can't really trust it. Yeah, it is pretty much always the ES, but in the very early days, if you go back to the original streams, we were trading the NQ and the ES. We were jumping back and forth. Um DG, you're from India. Well, welcome to the stream. We love and appreciate you. I should say welcome to the Optimistic Futures family. Yeah, what time is? I was wondering that myself. I'm like, I know India is a big country, so I don't just want to be like, I think time in India is not the best search because I see 10:27 p.m. 10:30. Okay, so it was the right. Come on, aim. Wonderful wife, bringing water. Love it. Ah. Woo. All right, let's jump back into the chart. Let's see if we've got. So we're coming up on the top of the hour. So here, as we approach 9 o'clock, here is stateside. We're at 8:58. And see if we get a fall down for the hourly volume push. 8:59. It is looking more like a like this head and shoulders pattern is beginning to play out towards the downside. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Obviously, 9 o'clock, top of the hour, typically is going to bring us a pretty large volume push as people head to lunchtime. Pulling back to 85 area. TTM builds itself up to 2.3, then 1.8, then 1.8, then falling back down to 1.9. Gonna take a chance here on the short. We're only in 2 contracts. We're short off 83.75, and I'm looking for a move down to 83. Taking some weird numbers today, since we normally take 4 contracts. Gonna cut that. Loss of $50. Still up 1237.50 on the day. Right here at the top of the hour. And maybe I should have held it. Maybe I should have cut it. Who really knows? But I can say that a lot of the momentum is gone on the day. We're kind of going sideways now. And the sideways movement is never good. It's a good way to chop up your account. Oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. Huh. Yeah. 1.9 to 2.1 on the GTM. All the momentum just seems to be gone. Honestly. Without momentum, it's very challenging to trade. At least for me. There we go. Getting a little pop. here on the top of the hour. There we go. Okay, maybe there is something left in the tank. Possible crossover inbound. Yeah, all right. Potential setup. Not taking another yet. Not until I see some confirmation. But there was a pretty nice move right there. It was a 12 ticker. 9 still below the 12, so nothing confirmed. I will say this, the EMA 35 just crossed below the 26, so that could indicate some further bullish action inbound. A little ways out, but not here yet. But the 35 is dipping below the 50. So that's not necessarily good for longer term play, but it did just happen, so it may not be permanent. 1.5 now to 1.3. What's the volume looking like? Volume on that last candle was 5K, 3,800, 2,500. So some of the volume coming back as well. Gonna get zoomed in on this one. Seeing some potential move here. The move would be this crossover and a cyan switch. I would need 3 confirmations on this. I would need number 1, the cyan switch, number 2, the 9 EMA, the yellow line, to get above the 12 EMA. Okay, so that's 2 confirmations. Third confirmation would be the cyan line here, the 12 EMA, getting above the 26 simple moving average, which is the white line that you see here, the white thin line. So I would want to see those 3 confirmations happen in order to continue to go long. Without those 3, we end up in this situation where this is kind of pulling back like this. So I want to see those 3 happen, and then we'll look at taking a long position. The long, likely the entry would be up here off of 87 or 87.50 or so, for a move up towards 90. Again, that's only if we get these 3 confirming. So the 9 above the 12, the 12 above the 26, and the cyan switch on the 2TM. Right now, though, it went back to sideways action, so got us all excited for nothing at the moment. DG, I will say this. A lot of trading is just sitting and being patient and watching the charts. So yeah, I see the same thing. We are starting a lot of chop here, and so it's kind of a slowing down period. That breakout failed off that. So, by the way, guys, if y'all still chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe and help the community grow. Further, if you don't like me, then don't subscribe. It still helps the community grow. But if you are enjoying this, why not like, subscribe? We do this every Monday through Friday at 7:30 Pacific. Sometimes we go for 2 hours, sometimes we go for an hour and a half. It just depends on what the market's doing. But we always start at 7:30 Pacific. That's 10:30 market time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time that we start this. And we just go until we don't. But like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications so that you can get notified whenever we do go live. Additionally, guys, if you want to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. Wonderful customer service. You can earn funding as low as $10,000 and as high as $300,000. on the one-step evaluations. Personally, I'm working on the 50K eval, and I'm working on the 100K eval on the static side, 100K static. And if you use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST, you'll be able to lock in a lifetime discount on these as well. Just make sure you click the see more details link here, so you can actually see how these all work. They do explain in detail how this whole process works, and how you can actually earn funding and use their money to trade the markets, and how you get to profit from that. And I also like how they're very upfront, how they profit from it too. Transparency is everything. You want to work with companies that are very transparent about how they earn, about how you earn, and about how it's creating an entire win-win situation for everybody involved. It's incredibly important. Ghost trade is starting to pay off. Right on. Took way long. Yeah, a lot of things are taking a really long time right now just because of the sideways action. And I think a lot of this sideways action really is just, frankly, I was actually surprised to get on today and see that we're moving up in the markets, especially after the Fed raised the interest rate to 4.75. 4.75% is such a crazy interest rate in my own personal opinion, but historically it's not that crazy. It's crazy when you look at the last 10 years, 15 years or so, because basically since the 2008 recession, we've pretty much been at like 0% interest rates or really low interest rates. So to see 4.75 is very high. Because just because the chop is kind of happening, we are actually approaching the 5200 cross. So I do think around 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock, we may actually end up in a trend reversal and a move down towards the VWAP. So you can see the 200 simple is diverging quite a lot off the VWAP. And if you see the VWAP from about a half an hour ago till now has only moved up about $1. Not even that. Only like 80 cents. And so because the VWAP has barely moved, it does kind of give me indication that we may be heading in towards a trend reversal. That trend reversal to the downside likely would go down to about 70, and then right along the VWAP and then potentially pop off that. If we do drop, I don't see us dropping much more than like 60, and then potentially trend reversing, going back up towards the upside. But we're down about $15 off the highs right now, and we're just kind of slowly grinding down towards that trend reversal. Where are we at now with this? It's currently 9:10. So maybe about 9:30, 9:45, we might get a 200 crossing above the 50. If that happens, then that trend reversal is likely very high percentage of that downward trend. So, having said all that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the day. I'm going to post our results in the Discord community. If you guys are not in our Discord community right now, you're going to want to join that. Inside of our Discord community, we do have some amazing traders. We've got people like Long Haul, we've got Ed Art, we've got Tiny, we've got just some amazing people in there who have a lot of experience in trading and who really know what they're talking about. So it's a really great place to go ask questions. I'm not always in there. I do, however, make daily updates in there. I'm not always in there just because I do have a family as well. So I am operating my family as well as several other relatives, families I'm also helping out with as well. It's just part of being me. I got to help out the relatives as well, in-laws and all that. So, but yeah, guys, join in our Discord community. I'm about to post my results there. Not just my results, though. I also post my reflection on the day as well. The reflection is incredibly important. If you're a new trader, and you are trying to get better at trading, doing your daily reflection is incredibly important to actually developing your trader's eye, if you will, or developing your ability to get better. What the reflection really is, and I'll actually try and write up some questions for y'all to ask yourself. But what the reflection does for you is it gives you the ability to identify what you did wrong, what you did right, what was dumb luck, and how you can improve. It's incredibly important. If you actually really want to become a professional, the difference between an amateur and a professional is an amateur does it until they get it right. A professional does it until they can't get it wrong. And so my own personal, I'm looking to become a professional at this. I'm not going to claim that I'm an expert, and you'll never hear me claim that I'm an expert, but I do intend to be a professional, which means I take my losses and I take accountability for my losses, and I also take accountability for my wins. We're getting a nice pop-up here, possible crossover, and a potential cyan switch. So this is that. These are the indicators that are beginning to line up that I said that I was looking for earlier, and for a potential move up towards 90. I said that the entry would be off 87 for a move up towards 90. If you remember that from about 15 minutes ago. Front of the bid here off 88. Look for that move up towards 90. But yeah, guys. So joining our Discord community, it's just joelstraight.com/Discord. There's also a link in the description as well. And y'all can jump in. New high on the day, 1387.50. New high for me anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minute rip up. Getting a cyan switch. May see a pullback now to the 50 EMA, which is this green line here. 35 is still above, or still below the 50. Sorry. There's that 912 confirmation that we talked about earlier. Now getting a 1226 confirmation. Gonna jump to the eval side, and we're currently on the 50K. There is like 5 seconds left in this candle. I should have just taken it. I didn't take it because the candle was about to end. Down, wow, wow. Popping up to 90. Getting nice and strong now. Some sellers coming in. Watch out for some sellers here. Some people taking profit more or less along this line, along these last few candles. So for the sellers, I would see potentially pulling back to about 87, which is right along this 50 EMA. Down, wow. So that popped up to 91.25. I was about to shut it down, but now we're starting to get some momentum again. Here at 9:15. We've got a cyan switch on the TTM. It's just we just sat there and did like nothing for like half an hour. So it was like, psh. And now we're getting some real momentum coming in from 1.3 to 2.1 on the TTM. We'll put this at 6 ticks and join the bid here. Joined off 90. I'm looking for a move up towards 93, 95 area. It's pulling back to 89. Join the bid off 89. I'm looking for a move up towards 90 again. In the eval, the 50K eval, we're in 4 contracts. So it's a little bit of a risky trade. Pulling back to 88.50. We're in at 89. Buyer's still winning on this one at the moment. 10 seconds left in this candle. 5 seconds. Dropping my sell order down to 89.50. Hands over the cover button. Still didn't fill yet. Kept tapping my seller on that, and that was my heart was kind of pounding. It was kind of a longer trade. We did get that trade though. Ended up in profit. 769 now on the trailing max, and we're up 183 on the 50K eval today. Whew. All right. Not a bad little trade there. Please be like that forever. I don't think Tiny could be mean if she tried. Like, Tiny being mean is very, very nice. Now, that's not to say that Tiny doesn't have some fangs, you know, but but she's definitely one of the better people I've met online. So but yeah, nice little trade there at the end. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I want to thank you guys for showing up today. Again, please help the community, likes and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We did have more consistent viewers today than we normally do, and I want to thank you guys for that. Thank you very much. Join in our Discord community, pick up an evaluation if you guys are looking to earn funding, and use that link in the description. And we'll see you guys in there. I'm going to post my results on the day. Grateful that we got that last little trade. Pulled in another $100 or so, almost $100 in the 50K eval. And yeah, thanks guys. Great day today. Oh, and we're ending the day. Let me just show you here. We're ending the day on the 50K up 183.36. On the 100K, we're ending at 131.68. And on the paper side, oh crap, I'm still on a trade here. Whoops. On the paper side, we're making mistakes. We're down $500 in a trade by accident. That we entered long off 90, and we were trying to get out at 91.50. And so I'm gonna cut this right now. So because of that mistake, we're ending the paper side up 637.50. Wow, I cannot believe I just did that. I'm normally so good at that. But we're ending the paper side up 637.50. I am going to jump into our Discord community, and I'm going to post my results in there, as well as my reflection on the day. Again, the reflection is super important if you intend to grow and become professional. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. Peace.